Russell Cord, and I work as a professional commercial photographer, and this is the first time I've spoken to an audience, so this is my first rodeo. So I'm going to try and do the best I can, and I thought the best way of trying to help you guys make a decision about photography and maybe what you want to do is to give you a quick kind of history of what stock photography is and what I do. And to start with, I don't think we really need the web or the display, so try not to look at that. And what I will do is I will give you these stock photo catalogs, which are kind of artifacts from a different era. Because if you were a graphic designer or somebody who was in book publishing or in producing calendars or posters or jigsaws, this is what you'd receive in the mail. And what was a photograph? Well, it wasn't an image on the screen. And if you can see, it was one of these things, which is called film, and it's been around a long time, but it may not be around for much longer. But anyway, we have about 20,000 images that are current. Now what that means is that we have agents around the world that sell our pictures, and they have some older pictures which I don't really want to show because places change, and I want to offer the clients as up-to-date a selection of images as I can. So when we notice they've thrown a new building up in Singapore or wherever and our images are out of date, we'll pull them off the site. Now some images don't change, so we also have a gallery page because we try to sell prints. And in fact, we had a little show in Du Bois over the last four or 5 months in a coffee shop of this set of images, which are landscapes. These are all old things. That's my wife's hands. She's just trying to put it in quickly just to make sure it didn't get bitten off. But a bunch of flowers. Guardsmen, you can spend the whole day taking pictures of guardsmen in London. There's millions of things to do with guardsmen. They're interesting. So these are sort of different views. This image was done with an anamorphic lens. And anamorphic lenses were used in film and movie production where you wanted to have a panoramic kind of shot, but not use so much film. If you were on a tighter budget, you would use an anamorphic lens to record the film, and then you'd put the same anamorphic lens on the projector to project it. And what I did was I used the anamorphic lens on regular film. And what that did was it kind of made everything taller and narrower. And I thought this was a kind of an interesting way of looking at the Twin Towers and the downtown. That's also an anamorphic lens. That's an anamorphic lens. And that's an anamorphic lens with not wide enough a standard lens on it. And what happens is you get a vignette. But it also can be kind of interesting, and that also has an optical vignette thing to do. I used to work almost exclusively in New York City and then travel from there. And in the mid-90s, they did a survey of the photographers in the city. And on Manhattan Island, at that time, there were around 20,000 photographers. But only about 300 had been in business for more than 18 months. Now that doesn't include photographers in the other 4 boroughs or photographers in northern New Jersey. So as you can see, 300 of those stayed in business for 18 months and the other 19,700 didn't. So it's quite a competitive business, and since then, since the mid-90s, things have got a lot more competitive.